Hey, good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of AO Mecha Live. I'm Ariel, and thank you for joining us this evening. Tonight, we have a very special guest, and wow, what a person. So, about maybe I'd say 2-3 weeks ago, I contacted this person to basically see if she has any interest in any of the shows and being a feature in one of our feature builder episodes. And I was very surprised that she said yes, and I'm very happy that she is joining us tonight. Her name is CYNDI, but you would probably know her from her online handle at Instagram as I am Cyn. Let's see here. Like, she has been around the community for quite some time. Lots of stuff. Like with her posts, almost daily there's something new with her in her page. So why don't we go and see what CYNDI is up to? Hey CYNDI, how's it going?
Oh, hi everyone.
Hey, good evening. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. No, it's been really good chatting with you the last couple of days. And kind of going through the shows. You are very involved in almost all the process of like where we're going out with the show here. And again, very appreciated that you have the time to end the episode. So I guess for those who don't know you as well, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is CYNDI. I usually go by Cyn on social media. I started building Gunpla a year ago.
Only a year ago?
Yeah.
Wow. What have you been doing before that?
Before that, I was working.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get to that work in a bit. So Instagram, you have, I believe, like something really ridiculous, like 13,000 followers. That is a really high number. Very impressive, by the way. And how long have you been active with your social media account there?
Wow, it's been years.
Wow. How many years would you say it has been now for that?
I would say 3 years. But back in the days, it was just like my selfies, and that's it.
Nice.
Maybe sexy pictures.
Ooh, uh-oh. Awesome. Why don't we go to the photos and see where we're at. So here I have a set of just a sample photo of your Instagram. And yes, there are lots of selfies, really cool. But what I like about this one also is like your incorporation of your hobby with your, lifestyle and social posting. So lots of Gundams on this one. What got you into Gundam? Do you remember what was your first Gundam? Like, what was your first introduction to the Gunpla and the hobby?
Before I got into this hobby, I used to collect Mini Cooper toy cars.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so one day I decided to paint one of my Mini Cooper toy cars. So I went to a local hobby store and got some paint.
What kind?
Got home.
Do you remember what kind of paint you started? Was it like hand painted or was it?
No, it was just like Tamiya.
Tamiya, okay.
Yeah, I remember buying a red and black Tamiya paint going back home.
How many paints did you pick up that day? Do you remember?
Just two, just two.
Nice.
And then I realized I needed an airbrush when I got home. So I went on eBay and I looked for airbrush. And then I thought I bought a $35 airbrush kit from eBay. Yes.
From eBay. So that was before Amazon, or did you even look
everything, at it? Yeah. No, I didn't look at Amazon, but just eBay. $35, including the compressor. And
did you remember how many kits of how many cars you made with that paint, or just that one?
Just one. Yeah.
Nice.
And then from eBay, I saw this clear MG RX-78 like popping up on the screen, and then I just bought it out of my curiosity.
Just out of curiosity. And when what was your first time building a kit like that?
Not really. I built something similar before, but it's 3D metal puzzles.
Awesome. And we're going to get to that. We do have photos of that particular kits. We have a lot of photos to show you guys tonight. Why don't we go through some of the photos that's not Instagram? You mentioned, like obviously like social media life, the lifestyle life. Do you have a day job? Like, what can we ask you what your day job is?
Oh, I'm a flight attendant.
Nice. Surprise. And I think you did mention that in your Instagram. So for those of you guys who don't know, she flies WestJet. Is that correct?
Yeah, WestJet. But I'm currently not working because of the pandemic situation.
Right. And I'm very sorry about that. But
taking a break for now.
Do you miss it?
No.
Nice. Yeah, great shots of your uniform here. How long have you been in the airline industry?
For this airline is around like 4 years.
Okay.
With another airline was 7 years.
Oh wow, that is a lot. Okay, so earlier on you mentioned about your first, I guess, kit that you built, but it's not really a kit. It's the first Gundam, or so to speak, is your first experience with these 3D metal, I guess, puzzles. Is that what it is?
It's like flat metal.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take usually to build one of these guys?
It's just 2 hours.
Wow.
It's just easy. Yeah.
Oh, it's just easy. 2 hours is easy for you. Awesome. So we have here, it looks like the new. Is that the first one you built from that?
Yeah, that's the first one.
And what did you think of it? Like, you're building this robot. Was it for you? What were some of the thoughts that were going through?
I was just like killing my time.
And
this is falling apart. Like, I glue it. I glue a lot of it.
Did you use regular glue, or is it like metal glue?
Just regular glue, like super glue.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay. Here, the rest of it. I think the next one here is the ashtray, from the looks of it. No, sorry, that's the Barbados. The second kit. You have 2 kits of that, right?
Yeah.
And did you since you bought 2, did you like it? And did you buy it all at the same time, or did you buy one and then
bought it at the same time?
Nice. Okay, so the next part here, we're looking now at the RX-78. It looks like it has some clear parts to it. What can you tell us about this kit here?
Oh, that's my first kit that I ever built.
Okay.
So that's the one I bought on eBay. I think it's super overpricing because I bought it for like US dollar around like $160.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that's a master grade, right?
Yeah, that's a master grade. But I got it and I knew nothing about Gunpla back then.
And what did your first impressions when you started building this kit?
I picked this kit because it's clear and it's unique. And then I gone through YouTube tutorial, Pinterest, Instagram pictures, and then I got this idea of painting it in half.
Yeah, and it looks really cool. So was it all clear before, and then you painted
it's all
half
clear
of it?
Before, yeah.
Oh, awesome. The next slide here is a yellow and white GM ground GM from the 08 series. Lots of details I could see from this. Is this your second kit, or is this further along?
It's the second kit. It's the first time I tried weathering my kits.
Wow. What did you do to this? Like, what kind of weathering did you do?
Oh, it's with the Mr. Hobby weathering pastel. It's like it's like a powder, looks like eyeshadow to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nice, and lots of details. Very, very nice. What were some of your challenges when you were, painting this and weathering it? Oh,
I forgot the top coating, and like all the powder was like falling off on the table.
Oh no, that must have been messy. So why did you choose this particular kit?
To be honest, I know nothing about the anime, so when I choose this kit because I like how it looked like. I think it's cool, and it looks pretty bulky.
Oh, I see. Okay. And the weapon system, you just left the rocket pack for that. Really cool. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? The next one here is a purple GM. Or is that, yeah, it is a GM as well. Is this a master grade or a high grade?
It's the master grade as well. The antenna is my earring. It's the middle of my earring.
Oh, really?
And I glue it on.
What got you that idea? Like, you were just like, oh, it fell out, and then I
just feel like it needs the antenna on the head. And the hip is from the RX-78. I switch it over.
Oh, I see. Sorry, 1 second. I think I guess Ariel, you're not muted, so we can hear you talking. Oh, that was probably earlier on. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of our chat here on some of the messages. very lively on the chat board here. So hopefully everyone out there in the chat is having a good time, and we're just following along here. All right, so the next one here, I'm looking at some of the legs. They were weathered and detailed. Is that hand painted onto this now?
Oh, this one I actually screw up.
What
I
happened?
used a hairspray technique that I learned on YouTube. So I was supposed to paint a brown color on top of the base color.
And what was the base color like? Was that like a spray can or
So
was it airbrush?
for hairspray technique, you have to do like a brown color, a rustic color at the very base, and then you use hairspray, and then you sprinkle salt on it, and then you do a top color. But then like I actually assemble everything together, and if I had to do that, I had to take everything apart. So like my GM is really fragile. If I do that, I'll break it.
Oh.
So I ended up just doing the legs, and the rest of the body I just like I cheated with putty.
That is funny.
Yeah, I cheated.
Next one here, it looks like it is a Zaku. Has a really cool like firing effect. Is still continuing on with the segment? This is after the GMs now, you moved into the Zakus?
Yeah, I heard that it's the bad guy, so I just wanted to try.
And what did you think of the bad guy now?
He's kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you like from it? So obviously it's different from the regular Gundams. Like what did you like about it that's different from the Gundam?
It looks rounder. I don't know.
It has more like, it's not as like
it's
straight, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's just look different.
Nice. Okay, and the rest of this here, just a couple more photos of the Zaku. Lots of battle damage I noticed here. So there's a little bit of scarring on the shield. There's a little bit of like obviously some weathering on the chest and all that stuff. Like, where did you get the idea for this particular build?
The idea came from Pinterest again.
So do you have like a lot of saved Pinterest
I do.
boards?
I always go through Pinterest pictures before I do anything.
Okay. And like, do you select a specific like genre? So if this is diorama, this is only for diorama, or if this is a clean build, this is only for clean build. Like, how did you arrange your Pinterest?
Oh, during that period of time, I was learning about battle damage. So I just Google about battle damage.
Nice. And what were some of the stuff that you wanted to try on this but did not get a chance to?
I kind of want to get the cotton out of the bazooka. It's kind of annoying, but I glue it with crazy glue, so it's just stay there forever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what was okay, so we have the bazooka. We have this explosion of smoke coming out, so that's cotton. What was holding it inside? Like a stick or like what was it holding?
It's a toothpick.
Just
a toothpick. Yeah.
Fun. Creative. Awesome. Okay.
And it's kind of heavy, so it's like leaning forward all the time. So I kind of want to take it off. But I guess it stay there forever.
I was gonna say, are all your kits usually still able to move, or do you fix post them?
Most of them were able to move.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Let's see here. The next one over is the crossbone from the looks of it. So this one, going back into the Gundams, like this is a master grade, is it?
It's a master grade as well.
Nice. And what can you tell us about this build, the crossbone?
So this time I tried a different technique of adding some clump foliage to make it a little bit green.
Okay.
And I use sponge for weathering. So black and green for weathering.
Weathering seems to be the theme of what I'm seeing with your work. Lots of details, attention to like, you know, obviously little areas. Like, do you draw inspiration from other builders as well? Like when you're doing your weathering?
Oh yes, I do. I remember when I started, I follow Nicholas on Instagram. And like I still remember like messaging him like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey, how you did that?
Yeah. 3 o'clock in the morning. Even I don't message him. So for you guys who don't know, Nicholas Tejada Sanchez, aka Nico, for people at home, amazing builder. He was also the first feature builder guest I had on the show. All of that you could check out at youtube.com/aomecha if you want to see all the past builders prior to this. Okay, so what's your conversation like with Nico? Is he a close friend? Like, what's going on?
I don't know him, but like I saw his picture on Instagram, and I was like, I follow him, and I saw his work. It was mostly all weather. Yes. And then I was like, what did you use for that? How did you do it? Like at the beginning, you know how like some builders didn't want to tell you like what they use.
Their trade secret and all that.
Yeah, I know, but he always tell me his secret.
Nice. Yeah, no, he is a really great guy.
Nice.
Yeah. I met up with him a couple of weeks ago just to catch up. It's been months since I saw him because of the pandemic, and he's still the same. Always talking about and always looking at new stuff. So since talking to him, like, what are some of the advice that you remember to do when you talk with him?
Oh, nothing much. He just told me like what did he use, how he did it, but it was like it was almost sounded like Mission Impossible to me because I was so new.
And when did you? Is this the kit that you started applying those, or did you start with?
This is the first one that I started applying those.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so we have a slightly not Gundam picture next, and looks like the picture from the Gundam base. So with you traveling, like how many countries have you traveled now? You must travel a lot with your works, right?
Yes, wherever my work brings me to, and I actually like to travel to Asia at least like 4 times a year.
Oh wow, that's a lot. Is there any particular places that you like to revisit when you're there?
So I have a habit of traveling to the same place over and over again until I get sick of it, and then I'll pick somewhere else.
Nice. So this is the Gundam base. Is this the one in Japan or somewhere else?
No, this is the one in Korea.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I was surprised, like Korea have so many Gundam bases, like they're so close to each other. Like this one is almost like 5 minutes away from my hotel.
Nice.
So I go there like almost every day.
Did they finally ask you, excuse me, miss, please go or buy something? Awesome. All right, let's get back to the rest of the kits here. So I'm starting to see a trend. All right, and correct me if I'm wrong with this one, but I'm starting to see that like you like the GM units.
Yes,
I have a feeling.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite until I found that it's like a small potato in the anime.
Oh man! So like prior to this, you really had no knowledge about Gundam and all of that anime.
No.
But you enjoyed building the kit.
I always thought GM was like a superhero thing because he looked so cool. And then like my friend told me, no, he just died right at the beginning.
What? No, that is such a bad misconception of it. The GMs are actually pretty cool, and I think as grunt or soldiers, like they really are very versatile. You could add so many weapons and make it more custom from what they are. It's pretty much like, you know, a simple doll.
They're quite simple.
Then you could start, when you start customizing it, you could make it to a different feel altogether.
Yeah.
And this guy right here, this is a blue GM. What are some of the stuff that you added to it? So obviously this is not an SD, but this is like an SD style.
This is the kit bash that I learned on YouTube. It's the HG with the SD head. Nice. This is actually the second attempt I do this. I did another one before.
Okay.
Let me show you. I have.
You have it with you?
Yeah, I have it here. So,
that's awesome.
The leg is too long and the arms are too long and it's just falling apart. So
But you went ahead and attempted it again, right?
This is the first attempt. I used the exact kit they have on YouTube, but I failed somehow.
And I have a photo here of them side by side. So we have the red GM. From the looks of it, you used the GM from the, I guess the Build Fighters here. It's the newer GM. But the blue GM looks like from an older kit. And it looks like a kit bash of a couple of things. And if I was to guess here, it's a little bit of the ground Gundam from the knee pads.
I actually combined it with the Gundam EZ-SR.
Oh, okay.
It's the weapons that I took from the other Gundam. And I added on it.
Oh, I see it now. Just going back to it, you see the launch, the missile launcher, the shields. Nice. Yeah. What did you think about kit bashing? Is that something you then like to do or doing more so now?
No, just these 3, and I stopped because I get bored of it.
Oh my god, she gets bored of stuff. Okay, speaking of which, we are going to do a quick break right now. Check out this video and we will be back with CYNDI. Hey guys, I just want to take this time to thank you guys for joining us tonight in our show. Really awesome to have you guys here and commenting during our live chat feeds. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you guys. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a PM in my social media platforms. You could reach me on Facebook at AOMecha, as well as Instagram at AO_Mecha. And if you have any interest in joining us for a feature, or if you have anyone that you want to recommend to check out and be featured in the show, please send me an email. And you can see that at the bottom right hand of my screen, aomecha.info@gmail.com. All right, thank you very much. And why don't we go back to the arena, check out what's going on there. And welcome back, everybody. If whoever's just joining us now, we are here with CYNDI, aka I am Cyn, and we are just talking about her builds, her kits, and lots of stuff here. Kit bashing, which is something we were talking about. The next image here looks like another kit bash, CYNDI, and it is the Freedom, like SD style, right? What can you tell us about this kit?
It's the same technique and everything. I just wanted to try one more time to make sure I know how to do it.
Do you tend to do that? Like you try again until you perfect it?
Yes. And I actually don't like the color of it. Like I think I picked the wrong color. It's not really stand out too much. It's purple and green.
Yes, I see that now here. Like,
yeah.
Well, obviously you liked it at the time, but if you were to say recolored another kit like this, or this particular kit, what colors would you choose for that? Like, do you have a new color scheme in mind?
Maybe a lighter purple instead of the dark purple. Like it looks like black here.
What do you use airbrush or hand paint for this one?
I use airbrush.
Nice. And do you usually use airbrush now for all your builds, or do you use like cans?
For primer and base color, I always use airbrush, and for weathering, I always use hand paint. Nice.
And the next image here, very cute one. I remember you posting this at Side 6, and it is the SDRX78, and this time with something a little bit different. There is a stand with this. Yeah. What can you tell us about this build? This looks like a fun build right here.
It's a memorial statue. And not a kit bash, obviously.
Yeah.
HG with SD head, and it's weather, but it's not damaged because it's a statue.
Ah, nice. And what are some of the parts that you took for? Is it all just the RX, or did you mix match some other parts with it?
Oh, it's just the RX, and I shortened the legs and arms. Yeah.
Oh, you did some modifications to it too.
I did. Therefore, all my kit bash, I always like shorten the legs and arms.
Because of when you learned from your GM that they were all too long.
Too long. Yeah.
See that, guys? Tip from a pro right here. Chop and make sure that they're proportionate so that they look appealing and they look somewhat natural. Good stuff, CYNDI. And I see there's a little bit of detailing as well with some foliage. Like, what type of stuff is going on here?
Oh, I feel like a statue has been standing there for a long time, so grass should be growing on it, right?
Yeah. Did you think about doing vines as well when you were doing this?
No, I'm not there yet.
Not there yet. You heard that, guys. Yet. Good stuff. And I'm just showing the rest of the fans out there some of the detail work, and there's also some weathering on this. There's a zoomed in version of the shield. Looks really, really good. Like, what did you use for this guy? Like, was it like a...
It's brown, and it's like rusted color with sponge that I applied.
Do you use like the same sponge over and over? Do you have like multiple?
No, it's the kitchen sponge that I have.
Kitchen sponge.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Is that your favorite type of sponge, I guess?
Yeah, it's my favorite sponge. It's nice and cheap.
Because it's cheap. Awesome. A little bit more details. You really went through and did a 360, because like it doesn't matter which angle you're standing in this, you know, or like looking at this kit. There's a little bit of little details for that photo. It's really, really good. Is that something I noticed that with all your builds, you're very focused and making sure that every little piece is meticulous. Do you really go through every single detail of this, and you know, like what's going through your head when you are detailing? Are people gonna look at it? What's going through your head?
I always make sure like it's perfect for 360-degree when you look at it.
Nice. Because then that way you could take photos at any direction whatsoever.
Yep.
Amazing. Okay, we are approaching a very interesting build, and we had a conversation about this last night. This is something that's, I guess, meaningful for you in a way, because I think it is your favorite diorama build.
Oh, yes.
Very detailed. So we are now at the RX-78, the granddaddy, the grandpa of the Gundam franchise, and it is broken to like infinity. What's going on here? What is this build about?
So I was learning about battle damage, and I was going through some pictures on Pinterest, and I saw something similar, that the wires are coming out and all that. So I kind of want to try and imitate people's work, and I came up with this idea.
And those are lots of wires. What wires? What kind of wires are those?
It's all kind of junks from my charging cables. My
charging cable. So you sacrifice a charging cable for
that. My charging cables, my earrings, needles.
Yeah.
And then I have some, you know, the silver screen for your smoking pipe, those little round silver screen. And I put some of it in it.
Yeah. And did you use like tweezers and pliers? Like
I used tweezer. I used tweezer. Yeah.
Very nice. Like, so that obviously the inspiration from Pinterest resonated with you. You don't have it. Did you save that image somewhere? Like, do you have it still?
I deleted it right after I finished this.
Oh,
like it's done. It's finished.
Okay, I was gonna say if you could share that later on, maybe post it in the on the wall, or if you could share it.
I could look for it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm interested to see, because like I'm very curious to what got you to do this, because like it's so detailed. It looks like a very powerful scene, and we're gonna get to the rest of that in a second. Now, flipping through here, some of your work in progress, especially with the chest area. What did you start with? How did you achieve the battle damage field and look?
I just used my Dremel to drill this part off, and adding some putty around it. So I actually never burned my kits. Like, a lot of people ask me how I did it. Like they.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like,
yeah, I never burned anything. No, okay. I never burned anything. It's just made by putty.
Nice. And how many hours would you say you have probably spent on this particular?
This one, I think around like
2 hours. About 2 hours, 3 hours.
The whole thing, like it's like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Wow, that is dedication. So here are finally we got to see a little bit of the details here. That is really cool. So we have a putty. We have a couple of wires, and you're actually molding them with your tweezers. Wow. Was the putty easy to work with, or was there like a dry time that you have to work within a specific timeline?
Oh, actually, I used one of the secret is I use one of the super glue.
Okay.
It's called a LePage super glue I got from Home Depot. Okay. So I've always used this super glue ever since my first Gundam.
Wow, that's awesome. And what kind of putty did you use for this one? Is this like the regular Tamiya, or
just the regular Tamiya?
That is awesome. Look at the details on that. See that, guys? Tip: use LePage glue. Get some of that wires. Get some of that putty. Get your battle damage on. Awesome. Yeah, no, it turned out really well. So that with all these little parts on the chest, like I'm looking at all the details and all that. Like obviously you had to go in and paint these guys to the details, right? Like, were you using tiny brushes? Were you using toothpick? Like, what was your workflow when you were doing the tiny details part?
I have a needle from my old airbrush. You know the needle inside the airbrush? I use that. Yeah,
that's needle. Also expensive to replace.
No, it's not. It's from my $35 airbrush. I'm no longer using it right now. So,
have you upgraded your?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I upgraded twice.
Nice. And I know there's lots of popular brands out there. I myself have done Iwata and Pash. Do you know what your brand is that you're using now?
This is the Iwata I'm using right now. It's the High Performance Plus.
Okay, nice.
That I got recently.
And you're using that now with all your builds, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And do you feel a difference between the $35 versus the Iwata now?
To be honest, no.
See that, guys?
It's just
it comes
cooler.
down to the artist. The artist will use any weapon, any tools to create stuff. Okay, lessons learned for all of you guys there asking, oh, what tools should I use? Start with honing your skill with whatever you got. Don't spend too much if you don't need to, right? There we go.
But I painted my first few Gundams with the cheap one.
Yeah.
Like you guys can tell, right?
Well, you are also learning. So there's a bit of a balance between those guys. Awesome. So, wow, holy crap. We are looking now at the detail of the legs here. So we were just looking at the body first. There's a lot more detail on the right leg here, especially in the knee. So what is going on here? What did you do for this?
Same thing as like damage. The reason why I did this knee because I was gonna put this Gundam into the snow. Because this, remember the hip bones? The hip is replaced into the GM earlier.
Yes, yeah.
So this one is missing the hip. So I figure out that in order to build this Gundam, I have to put this inside the water or snow to cover it up.
And that is part of the diorama sequence.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the rest. And so now here's something really interesting. And this is kind of like your step-by-step work in progress for the tree. And it's like a cherry blossom, like a scenery, right?
Yeah, it's a cherry blossom.
Okay, can you walk us through step by step on like how you recreated the cherry blossom tree for those guys
So I painted this, I air dry this white flowers, and then I painted in pink, and then I glue it with white glue on the branch.
Nice. And like the branch itself, what is it made out of?
It's by wire and putty.
How long do you think that took to make?
Well, this one took me way longer than building the Gundams. Like this one took me 4 months to actually glue everything.
Wow, that is a lot of detail right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, last night when we were talking about this particular diorama, the flowers are real?
They're real.
what was going through your head? You know these guys are gonna die, right? Like why did you choose the real flower? I mean, now I'm wondering.
I was just like, I wasn't really gonna use this for my Gundam, but then I just want to try doing it, like, to see if that works.
And how long did they last in that pink color?
Well, it's still there. It's still there right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
they haven't withered away or anything?
Yeah. And I was supposed to bring it to the competition, the GBWC.
Yep.
But then I realized the flower is too fragile. I had to hold it the whole time in the plane. Yeah.
Which GBWC were you gonna enter this in?
I was gonna enter this year, the one that was canceled, right?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you know what? You could still probably make it better and prepare it for next year.
Yeah, for another one maybe.
So here it looks like it's the final piece of it, and this is like a more further away shot. We have the Gundam RX-78 buried in the snow, and the underneath the tree here. And it looks like there's also some snowflakes on the or snow cover on the tree. What material did you use for your snow?
I think it's the terrain snow from AK.
Nice. And do you tend to use AK products for your dioramas?
No, it's the first time I got AK products.
Oh, nice. And what did you think of the snow? Like, was it hard to use? Because like I know some people have not used it before. Is there any tip for the snow for you guys?
It's pretty easy, and it's acrylic.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you apply it? With a brush or with the sponge or?
With the needle. With the needle, with the airbrush needle.
Okay. Very cool.
So even the snow at the bottom, I use the same material, but then I add cotton, white glue, what else? And white paint with the glue. Yeah. Right,
lots of mixture on that one, and lots of texture too to pop out that snow to make it still fresh, right?
Yeah.
Did you clear coat or top coat any of these afterwards, like once they're set?
Oh, for the tree, I use a lot of hairspray to hairspray to make sure they stay. And this Gundam, I keep forgetting about the top coat. Yeah.
Why do you forget the top coat? It's
I
like the
keep
last
forgetting.
part.
I know.
Funny story about that. Anime North for me last year, 2018, I believe. I entered the competition there. I did not win or anything, but it was fun. It's been a while since I entered Anime North, and I could relate with the whole top coating. And people that know me, we went there. We went to the thing, and I only had gloss clear coat at my place. It worked fine because all the decals then blended in. It just like disappeared because like when you put gloss on top, it just gets rid of that outline. But when I got to the competition, it was too glossy. So a friend gave me a set of his clear coat, the flat coat. The following day before judging, I was outside the convention and I was spraying the crap out of mine. And people are looking at me, the security guard's looking at me. I'm looking back at them. It's like, this is freaking normal, okay? You're in a convention, deal with it. And I'm like spraying it. So anyways, I could relate with that forgetting the top coat. So lots of cool pictures here. We're going through the diorama. Very, very almost like end scene of a drama. Is that like what you're going for in the feel of this?
So there's a story behind this picture. So this is the proper way to look at this from the top. This is the proper way to look at the Gundam.
Okay.
Because realistically, it's impossible to have a tree that huge. Like it's because it's an MG, right? So it's impossible for a tree to be like enormous like that. But the story is about this Gundam having the final battle, and the first time he looked up to the sky and see this cherry blossom. The first and last time, and he rests in peace, and that's it.
Oh my god. And then you could insert like the most dramatic Japanese anime song at the end, and everybody's just gonna start crying and stuff.
So the name of this is called The Last Cherry Blossom.
Wow. And the last couple of photos we just went through, it is in a glass acrylic case. It looks like a custom glass case.
Yeah, it's a custom acrylic case.
Nice. Did you get it here? Did you get it made somewhere?
I got it here. Yeah, I know I could get it way cheaper on AliExpress, but I can't get the right size.
It's pretty big scale here.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So this is now still at your home. This is like one of your displays now?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. All right. So we are now moving back into more nitty gritty diorama. GM. Surprise, surprise. Another. Is it safe to say GM is your favorite kit?
Yeah.
Like hands down. Like I'm seeing the theme here. All right. For those guys wondering what her favorite Gundam is, or sorry, mobile suit, it is the GM because they are superheroes. They are the real front lines. All right. They do what others people don't. So good job on that. And this is the sniper, GM sniper, another MG.
Yeah, another MG.
And I know. Okay, so can I tell them the story about what happened last night? So again, CYNDI is really a good has sportsmanship. Because when I was preparing, actually this was Thursday night, this is not 2 nights ago, we were working on the promotional picture for the show, and she gave me a slew of photos, and I'm going through each one of them. All look great, but I can't seem to get that right angle that I'm looking for. And then I was looking at the GM. I think this is one of my favorite GM that you worked on, by the way. I didn't tell you that the other day, but definitely proud and to see this GM in this detail and whatnot. But the thing was, like, when I'm just gonna go back to this one. Somebody mentioned about posing to you, and what was that? Okay, so obviously this might have some posing challenges on the first image, and that's the only image that I kept because we worked on a new set of posing after that, right? So what do you remember the message exactly? Like what happened to this GM?
So before I post this on Instagram, it took me 2 hours for this post. And then once I posted, like it was at the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
One of my followers told me, oh, so this is the wrong body mechanism for a sniper to hold his gun on the right. The left feet will have to step out. So the left leg will have to step out. Yep. So I was like, okay, after 2 hours. So I redo it again. And then he was like, oh, it could go more aggressive. So it took me 4 hours at the end. So I slept like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God, there goes your beauty sleep.
Yeah. And then last night, you told me to redo it.
Exactly.
Because like another 15 shots.
It was another 15 shot. We went through a whole photo barrage. I was like, so guys, if you're following me on Instagram at AO_Mecha, AO_Mecha, I posted 2 pictures of my GM. Those GM poses are the ones that I was actually showing CYNDI how to pose her GM, because we were talking back and forth. It's like, hey, I think you're right. Do you want to learn about posing? And she's like, yeah, sure. No, like, okay, fine, I guess we're doing this. And I'm like, all right, your game. Okay, so I think we spent like at least, I would say, an hour going back and forth on that one. But I really like how it turned out. Like, the posing now definitely more aggressive. It has that feel of like, hey, I'm gonna go over there and kick its ass, and I'm gonna shoot. So good stuff on the GM. Very proud of that one. Back to this. And I really like how with your base, it really just emphasizes that whole aggressive pose of this. So thank you for indulging me in helping you. But the kicker, and you're gonna laugh at this one, the kicker of the story, I found another image where like, hey, this looks better.
I wanted to kill you. I was like, what?
I am so sorry about that. I am so sorry. But
after all that.
Hey, anything could happen in a Gundam build. Lots of poses, and you know what? At the end of the day, though, we both learned a little bit about each other. Number 1, you learned about poses, and number 2, I learned that you could be very, very patient. So it's a win-win. Huh? All right. Let's continue on with the rest of this. I'm just going to go through, and this is the pose. I'm just going to stop right here. This is the pose of the GM that I believe I used for the promo image. Very cool upshot. Can you tell us about the detail of the I'm gonna go with the shot that's not posed right, but I want to show our audience the amount of detail and attention that you posed for your kit here.
So you see on the arms, I have my signature burn. That's my signature burn that came from the previous RX-78.
Nice.
And I put the same kind of details on it. And the diorama is made by 8box.
Awesome. That's just
I learned from high school. I learned it from high school. And 8box, you soak in hot water, and then you add white glue to make paper clay, and then it kind of looked like a cement color. So this is the original color of the 8box. I didn't add any color to it.
Oh wow!
And then I weather it.
So the weathering, same procedure. You're using the chalk, not chalk. The what is it? The
weathering
weathering kit. Yeah, pastel.
Yeah, weathering kit. Yeah.
And a little bit more the sponge as well on technique on this one, right? Awesome. It's starting to look like a Nico kit. Stop doing that. Stop that. Good stuff. Lots of detail. What can you tell us about the gun? Like, what did you do with the gun? Is that a stock, or did you do any modifications?
I didn't modify anything, but the reason why I used this gun because I wanted to use this bullet shell. You see on the ground there are some little bullet shells.
Oh yeah, that is.
I make by inflating needles for basketball.
Really? So the tiny pin needle.
The tiny pin needle, you just cut it off.
Yeah.
It's really soft.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And then I color it gold, and
that is awesome. How many pieces did you go through to get all that bullets in there? It must be I count like 8 or so, probably more than that.
8 or 9. Yeah, it comes in 15 in a pack from Amazon.
And it's a perfect shape for it too. Very, very good diorama.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of diorama, we are gonna switch now to, I think this is one of your current builds. I know I saw this in your Instagram feed. Cracked, dried, mud, and a car. What's going on here? Can you tell us what's going on? What's the story here?
It's my next project. I don't have the main character yet, but yeah, it's one of my Mini Cooper collections.
Is that the same car you painted on the first one?
No, not the same one. Yeah.
Because that would have been full circle, right? Like, hey guys, remember 3 years ago?
Not the same one.
Not the same one. Cool.
So I did rusted effect on the Mini Cooper, and yeah, with broken glass. So the broken glass, I used AK Ice sparkles.
And that's the clear ones, right?
That's the clear one. It looks like little, tiny little balls.
Okay.
like plastic balls, like super tiny. And then I just use white glue to kind of like glue it together.
Does size matter for the scaling?
Oh, doesn't matter. Yeah. So so that I did it on the wrapping paper, wrapping plastic paper with white glue, so to make that broken glass see back.
Nice. The next scene here, it looks like there's a little bit of paints on the side here. This is what you're using now to go in and detail the rust, right?
Yeah.
Wow. What are some of the paints you're using here?
Brown, red, black.
Are they all from acrylic as well? Like the Mr. Color, Tamiya?
Oh, there is Mr. Hobby, there's Tamiya, there is AK, anything.
Anything to make that. See, again, guys,
Yeah.
reiterating that art is freedom. You could use whatever your heart desires for, as long as you get that effect. You could make so many different roads to get there. So, and this is like your preferred choice. So a lot of it is this dry brush, or are you doing it wet? Like, how do you mix your paint to the car?
Oh, I hand paint it.
Hand paint. Any sponges as well with this?
Not with this one. Yeah, it's too small with the sponge.
The next photo here, we have the rust streaks. So I guess that's the more final detail of the car getting it.
Yeah.
And how do you like working with the AK rust streaks? Is this the first time you used it, or have you used it
Oh,
before?
it's the first time I use it. Yeah.
Wow. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's kind of watery comparing to other paints. You don't have to mix with anything. Yeah.
What can you tell people who have not used this before that you learned when using it to watch out for, to be mindful of?
Always use a top coat before you weather.
Good advice. Why would people need to top coat, so that you don't touch the paint?
Because if you screw up, you want to kind of clean it off with thinner, and it might you might touch your base color.
Nice. And did you use hairspray as your
No.
top coat?
No.
Guys, there is an effect for, so we were talking about the hairspray effect just coming back in there. Can you tell us again the step-by-step of like how you achieve, or what is the hairspray for those who don't know what that is? Can you give us a lesson on that?
So there are plenty of tutorial on YouTube about hairspray tutorial, hairspray effect. I mean, so you do primer first, white or gray, doesn't matter, and then you add a rust color, whatever brown color you feel like, and then you spray hairspray on it, and just sprinkle some salt. I would say sea salt is
preferred.
It's uneven, yeah, uneven size salt, and then you add a top coat on it on top of the salt, and then wait till it dry, and then you get rid of the salt, and that's how you do it.
Oh, nice.
But
That
then
is
you
very
also
cool.
you have to touch up a little bit with your with brown color,
Just to like blend where the
just to
chipping.
blend, yeah, to blend to chipping.
Nice. Really well done. Lots of details in this car. Hopefully you'll do more of these cars, because it looks amazing. I really like your weathering style on this.
Thank you.
Okay, the next scene, I guess this is gonna come back to some audience question, and I'm just gonna go to that one. It's like, I think one of the questions here is like, what is your workspace look like? What does your workspace look like? So here is a photo of what I think the diorama is on your desk here, but is this it? Is this like, you have your cutting mat, and then you have like this box at the back? What's going on here?
So this is actually my little coffee table. Yeah, I would just bend on a carpet and work on my stuff.
Nice. And this is where you usually paint and detail? Okay. What are some of the tools that you could mention that you tend to go to a lot? Like, what do you use the most on your toolbox here?
Tools. I would use the Dremel is something that I use all the time. If I weather a kit, I always use it. I could drill bullet holes, burns. Yeah.
Nice.
And putty is something that I use all the time. Just
to give it that extra texture and use it to glue stuff together,
Yeah.
right? Nice. And yeah, it looks like you have a couple of series of glue here. Are those all the Tamiya cement glues?
Yeah, but I just noticed it's really hard to use the cement. I tend to use the super glue now.
Now, do you find that the cement melts your plastic more? That's why it's not, or it's just not sticking together?
It's not sticking together. It's really hard.
Maybe
I didn't do it right. I don't know.
And you sent me a photo of a website. No, sorry, the Instagram account. Can you tell me, this is where you got your I guess storage unit for your materials and supplies, right?
Yeah.
What is the name of this?
It's the Artist Station. It's from
Station.
Korea, but it takes forever to ship here. I waited like almost 4 months.
So if you guys have 4 months to kill, I will send that on the link in the description. Or Cindy, if you could maybe send us just a name of that on the comments, that would be really great. All right, we are gonna do a quick break right here, and then we're gonna talk trips. All right, stay tuned, guys. Watch this. Hey everyone, hope you're enjoying the stream so far, and thank you for tuning in. Now, if you're into Gunpla and Mecha as much as I am, or would like to know more about Mecha and Gunpla in general, I'm actually part of an amazing online community called Side 6. All the information you'll need to find Side 6 will be part of the description of this video. You could check us out at facebook.com/groups/side6, on Instagram at side6_mecha, and for any future information or news, you could check out our website at www.side6.club. The community is amazing. Lots of like-minded people that are into the Mecha and Gunpla, sharing works in progress, and pretty much talking about the hobby and everything related to the Mecha and Gunpla lore. So hopefully you get a chance to check us out. We're always open to new members of all skill levels. And yeah, let's just keep getting the community moving forward. All right, thank you for that. And why don't we go check out the arena, see what's going on there. And welcome back. For those of us joining us, we are doing a feature build starring CYNDI, aka I am Sin, and we were just going through all of her kits. And I think we've gone through all of her current builds up to now. But part of the show is actually getting to know our builders. And the next couple of photos here they look like they're your trip photos. So I guess we're starting off with the Tamiya Pla Model Factory. Where is this, and when was this? When did you travel here?
It's in Korea. It's just right across the Gundam base in the mall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what did you see inside?
Oh, it's just the accessories and the RC cars.
Did you ever get into those cars?
No.
Ah.
No, I don't like it.
Next photo is a SD RX-78. Again, probably one of your favorite kits. Because now, how many RX-78 would you say you own now?
Oh, let me see. I think around like 3.
3 RX-7. Yeah. Nice. And where was this SD? Is it in the Gundam base as well?
It's outside the Gundam base in Korea.
Oh, so they have a tiny
mall right now. Yeah.
They have a tiny statue, whereas the Japan one is like the big statue.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to see the big statue in Japan?
Yeah, I did. The unicorn, right?
Currently, it's the unicorn. Yeah. And there's another shot of the I guess still the Gundam base. Is this still the same Gundam base, or is this a different Gundam base now?
This is still the same Gundam base. It's called the iPark Mall. This is the iPark Mall.
Yeah. Really cool.
There's a subway. Yeah, there's a subway in it.
The next one here is I think Joy Hobby.
Yep, Joy Hobby is highly recommended. If you want to buy cheap Gundams, cheap accessories or paint, just go there.
Nice. And if you're in Korea.
Yeah, that's in Korea.
Because like guys, it's not here. Korea. If you're in Korea, check out Joy Hobby. Awesome. And here's another shot of the Gundam base. This one now is in Tokyo. Is this the one in Tokyo? Are we there now?
Yep.
Awesome. And when was this? This was last year or the year before?
No, this was way at February before the virus outbreak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then here's a shot of what looks like Diver City. No, where's this? Like it's a city shot.
This is the same Gundam base I'm seeing right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's just it's the next slide. A little bit of a delay.
Oh, this is in Japan. Yeah, this is in Japan where I got a lot of modeling kits.
What was like some of your favorite buys when you were there? Like, what did you? So wait, before we even get there, you travel a lot to these. Like, how many times have you gone since you've been into the kit? Like, 3 years,
This
4
is
years?
actually the first time I ever been to Japan. I've been to Korea for more than like 10 times.
Okay.
I go there like 4 times a year back then. And
Erwin from YouTube just mentioned that this is Akihabara, where that shot is right now. Awesome, thank you for that, Erwin. Lots of stuff. So let's see, what else is next here? How many kits do you usually bring back when you go travel?
Oh, I would ship a box from the local post office.
Ship a box?
Yeah.
Jeez.
The shipping is pretty expensive, but then like you get to get some new stuff, right? From Gundam base. It's way cheaper to get it there. Yeah, exclusive stuff. So
I know you've been collecting a lot of exclusive stuff. From your collection, what do you think is your most favorite piece in your collection from whatever exclusive or from your model kits?
Oh, I like anything clear.
Clear? Wow, yeah. That's you know what, a lot of modelers would say, I don't want it clear because I'm gonna paint it. But like you like
clear. It. I don't do anything with the color if it's clear. You
just want to see the inner frame?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's go with our next one. This one looks like it's still the Gundam base. It's outside somewhere. Where? Outside of a head office?
Oh yeah, in Japan.
Nice. So did you go and knock and say, hey, I am Sin, give me all your stuff?
No, it's just a selfie. Oh, this one is another Gundam base in Korea.
Oh, so there's another Gundam base.
Yeah, but this is a smaller one. Like, one thing I noticed, like, Korea Gundam base don't carry premium Bandai at all.
Nice. All right, the next photo here looks like a small statue of the RX-78 at the Gundam base.
There's another really ghetto Gundam base in Korea. It's inside the subway. It's in the subway.
Why is it ghetto? Tell me, why is it ghetto?
I've been there so many times before, and I didn't know it was a Gundam base. It looks so ghetto.
Oh wow!
And this is actually like right outside the Gundam base, but the Gundam base looked like a really old convenience store. Like it's somewhere next to the subway.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. The next photo. This is you now in the Gundam base at Tokyo. I guess this was one of the recent ones that you went to, right?
Yeah.
Or is this what did you think of the Tokyo versus the Korean one?
Oh, the Tokyo one is so much better, I guess.
What did you like about Tokyo?
This is the one in Tokyo, the one holding shopping bags, right? Yeah. This one because the one in Korea don't carry premium Bandai. They just have like regular stuff, and it's not even cheap.
Not even cheap.
I always go to it's not even cheap. But like I always go to Joy Hobby to get all my stuff in Korea. But it's always nice to go to a Gundam base when you get a chance, right? Yeah.
Now, when you shop, and here's a question as a shopper, do you like put everything first in your cart and then sort it out at the checkout, or do you have something in mind that you're gonna go there and you're gonna get it?
No, I actually just go by the look because, as I mentioned, I don't know nothing about the anime, right? So I look for a GM first, and there's a GM session, so I look around GM session and see what's cool.
Yeah.
And I would also I would go back to the same Gundam base like twice in Korea because it's really close to my hotel. So I go back to the hotel, do some research, and ask my friend recommendation and see what I should get for tomorrow. Nice.
That's awesome. So again, the key to your heart is a GM. That's what I'm hearing right now. Okay, and I think we're back to square one. So that is it for the photo section. That was a trip, wasn't it? Can you believe we crossed 1 hour already?
Finally. Let's get this done.
Oh my god, she's getting rid of me already. I really hope you had fun tonight. We have a couple of questions here, hoping to get them answered. And these are from our couple from Discord, Facebook. Okay, so some of them we've already answered. What got you in? Here's a question for you. Like, what is your next project after this diorama, or is it like, do you already have some projects in mind you want?
The Cracked Land is the next project for now, but I am debating on the main character.
And do you have anything in mind yet for the main character?
It would be another MG, because I would only I usually only weather or battle damage an MG.
Nice. Okay. And how often do you how often do you complete kits? Do you build them quick and then you go to the next project, or do you take your time from one project to another?
Sometimes it took me forever, like maybe half a year.
Half a year? What was your longest one? The diorama was your longest one, like the RX-78?
The RX-78, because like I went for vacation, like in between.
Nice. Let's see here. What kind of music inspires you while you build? Do you have any preference in music?
No, I don't laugh, okay?
I won't. Let me laugh first. Let me laugh right now. Oh my god, that's crazy.
There's a favorite show called Crime Watch on YouTube.
Okay.
That's what I play non-stop when I build.
What's the style of that music? I don't know what that is.
It's a reality show. It's the cold case show.
Like Unsolved Mysteries?
It's called Crime Watch.
So you listen to that kind of background music, like the dark, ominous.
It's not music. It's a show. It's a show showing how people was killed.
There you go, guys. See, music for artists is very, very different than all your local top 40s. Stop listening to that top 40 and get into unsolved mysteries and criminal stuff. Here's a deep question. Like, what is the hardest or easiest parts of the hobby for you?
I think nothing really comes easy with this hobby. I really study a lot, learn a lot, Google a lot, fail a lot in this hobby.
And what are the lessons learned that you've taken to heart in the last while?
Just start with a cheaper kit if you want to do experiment. Because you don't want to screw up an expensive one, right?
Did you screw up a very expensive one?
No, never. So far. I'm lucky.
Not yet. Okay. What advice give people and fellow female builders? And as you guys know, and not to, obviously there's like that topic of like, it's a male-dominated hobby. You know this, I know this. And from a female's perspective, I was wondering, what kind of advice would you give fellow female or builders in general when they're trying to get into the hobby?
I would say if you're not sure about the hobby at the beginning, don't invest too much. Just get the cheapest airbrush, cheapest stuff.
And go with that. Awesome.
And go with that, yeah.
And what would be something that you could tell them, like say they want to continue, like what are some of the things? Should they be following people? Should they be looking at other people's work? Like how do they discover what's good for them?
You can always upgrade your tools, your airbrush, your stuff later on if you like your hobby, right? And I would just look for friends who have a similar common hobby, who you could talk to. Maybe just follow people on Instagram to ask about the skills, to discuss about your work.
Right. No, those are very, very good stuff, guys. Obviously, this hobby is fun, but it does come with a price. For as long as you're having fun, make do with what you can. And those are some really good, inspiring words from you, CYNDI. Thank you for that. Last question here. I guess last couple of questions here. Where could people find you in your social media platforms?
It's Instagram. I am CYNDI.
Nice. And is that the only place
that's the only social media I have right now? Yeah.
Wow. Right there, guys. And that's with like 13+ followers. That's dedication and a half. Awesome. Do you have any final words for our people out there?
Yes. So watch AO Mecha live Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Build your backlog.
Hey, there you go. Thank you very much. CYNDI, it's been a pleasure. I hope to have you here again on the show in the future. It was really fun getting to know you and looking at all your builds, looking at all your travels. I'm looking forward to your next projects and all your postings. So guys, give her a follow, give her a like, you know, check out her work, maybe learn something about detailing and whatnot. But yeah, CYNDI, thank you very much. We will talk to you soon. Have a good night for now.
All right, good night.
Yeah. All right, and that is our show for the feature builder night tonight. That was CYNDI from I Am Cyn. Go check her Instagram out. As you know, I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on facebook.com/ayomecha. And now, from the looks of it, I could stream at YouTube. I still have to figure that part out. But youtube.com/ayomecha. Please give it a like and subscribe when you see this and all new content. I just recently posted a coffee break session, and I'm hoping to do more of that. That will be posted on Thursdays. And this Monday coming up, I have something special for you guys. A very, 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 very challenging, very difficult, very what the hell am I thinking type of backlog builder episode. So stay tuned to that. More info on that to come. This show is powered by USA Gundam Store. Please check them out. Visit www.usagundamstore.com and save with my discount code AYOMECHA10. Okay, that wraps up pretty much the show. Another great episode. Lots of fun stuff. Covered a really cool builder. And again, if you guys have any builders in mind to be featured on the show, or if you want to be featured and collaborate on the show, feel free to send me an email or PM me. Email me at ayomecha.info@gmail.com, and all of my other social media link below. Okay, that is it for me tonight. Hope the rest of the night goes well for you guys. Till next time. See ya.
Yep.